These woods are an example of what can be accomplished without man's interference. This forest, away from any town or communal society, is as untouched by man as any mass of green can be. It would be easy to mistake an area like this as a place of solitude and silence. That is not the truth. Here, there is no substantial evidence of civilization, but that does not mean it is without life. Wind and water fill the amphitheater with motion and meaning. Endless chatter of woodland beings permeates within this arborous cathedral. These are not idle conversations. It is an opera, a symphony, a concerto of unification, perfectly executed by design. There is no explanation for how these beings coexist. There is no reason to know why. Within these trees, among these streams, life is, and that is good enough. Nature is not entirely benevolent, and yet this does not take away from its beauty. Animals are hunted and eaten alive, with no knowing of anything outside of this forsaken wood. Human life is very much the same. Every day is lived knowing that any moment could be your last. But it is assumed that now is not that moment. Today is not that day. There is a desire to strive for significance, but in the end, every day ends just the same. These vicious beings live doing what they must do to survive, even if it means the end of another creature's life. Does this make them any different than a small rodent burrowing its home within the confines of a tree to seek shelter from the outside world? Even something as beautiful as a flower can be subjected to draining the essence of other greenery to stand a little bit taller and glow a little bit brighter. There is a cruelty in nature that brings about destruction, and yet this forest still stands. Life carries on, even if it's not the life that came before. At the heart of the forest lies a massive, ever-reaching oak. as large as a hill upon a mountain, standing alone and apart from the rest of the forest, encircled by still water. The trunk of the behemoth is impossibly thick, able to withstand the elements for the centuries it has stood here. The stoic branches do not sway like the other trees within the wind. Night is everlasting beneath the countless branches. No light permeates the endless leaves. There is one thing that this beast of a structure exacts more than any other being on this planet. It endures. It endures the frost of the winter, the storms of the spring, the scorch of the summer, and the collapse of autumn. It endures the loneliness from being different and unyielding. The tree grows taller and stronger with each year, but never closer to the others that surround it. The other trees live, and they will surely die. But this monolith remains to stand the test of time. Streams cut into the wooded area like capillaries, carrying the essence of life from the top of the hills to all the organs of the forest. The streams swiftly scour the mountainside to ensure the continuation of this Eden, ceaselessly palpitating the blood of the earth. Unlike a standard circulatory system, the cycle of this network of vitality does not return to its source. It only travels downward into the endless expanse of the sea, to nevertheless return as droplets in the rain. Following the streams is a sure way to reach the colossal peak, if one were not to worry about the definitiveness of gravity. There is only one way to reach that height so directly, and it requires wings. Without a transport of such convenience, one must move onward into the dense arteries of the mountain, where the sun is no longer your companion, and the loneliness truly sets in. The dark takes over, and there is nowhere else but forward. There is no more going back.
Childhood. These are the memories of a young man reflecting upon the most cherished stages of his life, filled with a love that transcends the ages of youth into something far beyond. Your name is Kai. Your life's greatest moments are those spent with your darling Renee. She is the dawn of everything. Her power to fill your life with magnificence is as sure as the morning's first illumination. But as every sun rises, so too must it set. The first lasting memory shared between the beloved begins at the age of innocence. Budding laughter fills the air throughout the schoolyard. It is here where the story truly begins, with a fateful meeting between two preordained to journey the wrinkles of life and love. The two are initiated through a common companion atop a glided hill surrounded by giant greenery. The sun is high and the air is warm, like any other summer day, but there would not be any other day. Not again. In an instant, everything changed. You look up and separate her brilliance from the sun. Renee sparks the kindling of your soul with a shy smile and her radiant eyes, vibrantly glistening in the night. Your capability for love has only just now been awoken. Your chest is heavy, breathing is difficult, and time stands still. You stood silent for a few moments, not noticing her outreached hand. Her smile becomes slightly perplexed. Respond quickly or react slowly? Let's react slowly. You lower your gaze to her inviting hand, noticing her homemade bracelet. After taking a deep breath, you reach for her hand a little overconfidently, making your nerves apparent. You introduce yourself as the new kid who just moved into town and comment on her crafting capabilities. You tell your new friend that you draw in your free time. Renee thanks you for noticing her bracelet and shares the process she took to create the accessory. She states you are much more proper than she expected. You are not sure how to feel about this. Maybe you should have done something funny instead of playing it cool. You both continue to discuss your art and how you enjoy spending your free time. You both get along swimmingly for a couple of introverted kids. There isn't much time left for recreational activities, but Renee wants to take you to her favorite spot in the wooded haven. Between two trees is a large enough of a break between the greenery to notice a well-traveled trail into the forest. She looks as if she wants you to follow her further along the path. You are nervous about getting too far away from the school and getting into trouble, but you don't want to disappoint your new friend. Go farther into the woods or shyly decline the offer? We're going to avoid trouble right now, I think. You are almost too afraid to say no, but your apprehension is noticed. She says that it's okay to be nervous, and that she was too when she first went through the trail. She walks back to you and tells you that you can see a towering mountain looming in the distance just a little further down the trail. Kids aren't allowed to walk into the woods on their own, but there is something magical about going on an uncharted journey. You can hear your teacher calling you both to come back to the schoolhouse. You promise to go see the mountain the next chance you get.